Hi, I'm Margaret, and I've got a decadent dessert for you today. It has almonds and toffee brittle and some chocolate white and milk. It also has almond meringue, cherries in liqueur. Oh, and there's got to be ganache and cream. Oh, I've got a treat for you today. The first job is to make 3 8-inch circles on 3 separate pieces of baking paper. If you draw it on one side and then turn it upside down, you won't get any ink on the meringue. I separated about 12 eggs, but the important thing is the volume. Keep breaking eggs until you have 260 millilitres. To get the right consistency, you start off quite slow with the mixer and then speed up as you go. You need to have quite firm peaks, just like that. The sugar needs to be added quite slowly, about a spoon at a time. When all the sugar's in, you'll need to whisk it quite thoroughly until it's very smooth and all the sugar has dissolved. To see if it has dissolved, put a little bit between 2 fingers and just rub them together. If it's smooth, then it's ready. If you can feel little grains of sugar, then you need to mix it a little bit more. The cornflour helps to stabilise the meringue mix. You could use white wine vinegar if you like, same amounts, 2 teaspoons. Or even lemon juice, that does the same job too. Okay, that will do. We're about ready for the ground almonds. This gives it a lovely texture and a nice flavour. I'm folding in a little at a time. I don't want to deflate the meringue and knock all the air out of it. So we're about ready to start forming the circles. The meringue itself makes a lovely glue, so a little dollop in each corner will keep the paper fairly still for you. A couple of spoonfuls of the meringue mix in the centre of the circle. I always start in the middle and then start to push the meringue out towards the edges. I find this the easiest way to make a circle. Just gently pushing it until it reaches the line. There, that should do it. Now just a few flaked almonds on top. This meringue is going to be the top layer, so I want it to look pretty. Each meringue circle will need to go into the oven. As soon as they're in, reduce the temperature to 110 degrees C, that's gas a quarter, and in Fahrenheit that's 230 degrees. And after 2 hours, turn the oven off, leave the door shut and let them cool completely. The almond brittle is a lovely recipe to make. It's so quick and easy but looks so pretty and tastes delicious. You could always double or treble the quantity and keep some in a tin for over Christmas. Great for a nibble while you're watching your favourite film. Have some baking paper, ready on a board, because once the mixture's ready, you'll need to tip it out straight away. I'm letting it bubble on a medium flame, but keeping an eye on the temperature. As soon as it reaches it, add the salt, stir in the almonds, and then tip it out onto the paper. Spread it out with a spoon, but please don't touch it, it's so hot. Then just leave it to cool. For the white chocolate stars, I'm using tempered chocolate. You know my method by now, it's the quick one in the microwave. 30-second stir, 20-second stir, 10-second stir, until it's nearly all melted, and then stir and stir and stir until it's all melted and it's ready to use. Once it's spread, leave it for 5 minutes, then you can cut the stars out. It should have firmed up a little, but still be soft enough for the cutter to go through. You can then pop them into the fridge until you're ready to put your dessert together. The darker your chocolate is, the easier it is to temper. White chocolate is notoriously the hardest one to do. So once you've got the white chocolate right, the others will be easy. This is a fun way of making curls. You can make them as thin or as thick as you like, or as twisted as you like, depending what you use for it. Again, once you've spread it, leave the chocolate for about 5 minutes so it's reached that soft stage. And I've cut 1 centimetre strips with a pizza cutter here. You can make them thinner or thicker. It depends how you want them to turn out. What makes them curl is the container that you choose to put them in. I've chosen quite a tall container because I want mine to go a little bit down so they twist into big wide coils. It's best to make a few more than you need because they do have a tendency to break. Now for the ganache, and it couldn't be easier. Just warm the cream but don't boil it, pour it over the chocolate, leave it to stand just for a few seconds, and then give it a really good stir. It will be thin at first, but pop it into the fridge and it'll soon thicken up. So we're nearly there. There are a lot of elements to this dish, but this is the final preparation. Let's whip the cream. Break the brittle into shards. Pop out the chocolate so it cascades into curls. And gently, oh so gently, push down on the chocolate around the stars, and that way they should just pop out. I'm going to keep the chocolate that's around the stars, and I'm going to break this over the ganache to make it even more chocolatey. So here we go. Now, to make sure that your dessert is at its best when you serve it, it's best to do this preparation about half an hour before you serve. I'm going to need to be so careful with that meringue because it's quite brittle, and if I'm too rough or I put too much on it, it's going to break or collapse. I always like to add a little at a time with meringue, just so I'm not putting too much pressure on it. I'll let you just watch this bit. And there's the finished dessert. And if that wasn't enough, I made a sauce out of the liqueur and the cherry juice that you can pour over each slice. I bet you didn't think I was going to slice it. Oh, nearly lost it there. It is a bit precarious. Now, if I was to serve it with those extra cherries on the side, would that be going too far? I'll let you decide that. I hope you've had fun today. Have a great Christmas, everyone. I hope Santa brings you everything you asked for. I'll catch you on Monday for a New Year special. Happy Christmas!